Okay, let's do something different, like kind of scary fun different this time. Every one of us had experienced childhood, like doing stuff as kids, playing with dirty stuff, digging holes on the ground, and lots of fun stuff. But during our childhood, we definitely and totally loved cartoon shows, and I'm sure you yourself was one of them cartoon lovers once, and still is. Keep watching as we explore the best vampire cartoon characters, and enjoy going back as a kid once again. These animated bloodsuckers haunt Saturday mornings and after-school time slots. The shows are currently available on cartoon and kid-friendly networks and streaming services. They introduce kids to the vampire mythology in a family-friendly setting, becoming a gateway to more vampires and monster-related content down the line. From musically inclined vampire queens to hoteliers with human in-laws, here are a few animated vamps who took a bite out of pop culture. First up, Mavis Loughran from the animated cartoon show Hotel Transylvania franchise, voiced by Selena Gomez. The only child of Count Dracula, she made him reevaluate his opinion on humans after she fell in love with Jonathan, a mortal backpacker who she sings with. Next up, Marceline, the vampire queen from the animated cartoon show Adventure Time, voiced by Olivia Olson. Marceline is the half-demon, half-human vampire queen of the land of O, a title she earned after defeating the previous vampire king in battle. A non-bloodsucker, she only feeds on the color red and avoids the sun with giant hats, sunscreen, and shady areas. She is quite musically inclined and has lost track of her moral code due to being over 1,000 years old. Count Dracula from the animated cartoon show Hotel Transylvania franchise, voiced by Adam Sandler. After the death of his wife, Dracula opens the Hotel Transylvania as a safe haven for all monsters and as a place in which to raise his daughter, Mavis. After Mavis marries and has his grandson Dennis, Dracula remarries to Erica Van Helsing. Count Chocula from an animated cartoon commercials for Count Chocula cereal, voiced by Larry Kenney. The chocolate-loving vampiric mascot for the sugary sweet General Mills cereal brand that only appears during Halloween time. Along with Boo Berry, Frank Berry, and occasionally Fruit Brute, Fruity Yummy Mummy, and or Carmela Creeper, Count Chocula stars in seasonal commercials promoting the cereals when available. Draculora from the animated cartoon show Monster High, voiced by Courtney Lin. The daughter of Dracula and Wei Fong, a Taiwanese vampire, is a vegan vampire with a secret interest in witchcraft, which has forbidden her world. She is 1,600 years old and fights for witches' rights. Count Duckula from the animated cartoon show Count Duckula, voiced by David Jason in the original series, Rasmus Hardiker in the Danger Mouse reboot. Duckula is a vampire duck hailing from a long noble vampiric line of blood-drinking birds who is accidentally resurrected as a vegetarian when the ancient ritual was performed using ketchup instead of blood. A spin-off from the show Danger Mouse. He was initially a comedic character more interested in fame than villainy, but in the 2015 reboot, Duckula rediscovers his mean streak and goes back to being bad. Marshall Lee from the animated cartoon show The Vampire King, Adventure Time, voiced by Donald Glover. In a gender-swapped version of Adventure Time, Marshall Lee is the male version of Marceline the Vampire Queen, friend of Fiona, the female version of Finn. Like his counterpart, his is a musically inclined half-demon, half-human who became the king of the vampires after killing the previous vampire king or queen. Bunnicula from the animated cartoon show Bunnicula, voiced by Chris Kattan. An adorable vampire bunny with a penchant for killing vegetables for their juice, he bears Dracula's signature widow's peak and marks on his fur that resemble a black cape. He can also transform his ears into bat wings. Count Dracula from the animated cartoon show Scooby-Doo and The Reluctant Werewolf, voiced by Hamilton Camp. The world's most famous vampire hosts a drag car race titled the Monster Road Rally. When the werewolf is unable to compete due to retirement, Dracula must find a new lycanthrope to take his place, but the latest descendant is a bit hesitant to race. Count Burns from the animated cartoon show Treehouse of Horror 4, voiced by Harry Shearer. Residing in the evil land of Pennsylvania, the vampire Burns invites the Simpson family over for dinner, where he feeds on Bart Simpson, turning him into a minion. The family returns to kill the Count, only to discover he himself was a minion of the true head vampire, Marge. Vlad from the animated cartoon show Hotel Transylvania 2, voiced by Mel Brooks. The father of Dracula who despises all humans, a massive problem for the Count and his family as his grandson Dennis's vampiric nature was still unknown at the time. Dracula from the animated cartoon show The Batman vs. Dracula, voiced by Peter Stormare. The Penguin resurrects the king of vampires, and he immediately begins attacking Gothamites, turning them into vampires. After Dracula kidnaps Vicky Vale, Batman must battle the monster face-to-face while finding a cure for the people he infected. Lily Munster from the animated cartoon show The Mini Munsters, voiced by Cynthia Adler. Based on the hit show from the 1960s, this animated pick of the primetime family features the Munsters a little later in life, with a teen Eddie and a few more members of the extended Munsters clan. Blade from the animated cartoon Blade, voiced by Harold Perrineau. Marvel's infamous Daywalker travels to Japan to confront the vampire who killed his mother, Deacon Frost. While there, he finds himself entangled in a vast conspiracy involving a mysterious organization called the Existence. Drac from the animated cartoon show Groovy Ghoulies, voiced by Larry Storch from the 70s animated offering by Filmation. Drac is the overseer at Horrible Hall, a haunted boarding house for monsters. Drac lives there with Frankie, Wolfie, Bella Law Ghostly, Sabrina Spellman, yes, that's Sabrina, and a great number of traditional Universal monsters. He also plays the pipe organ in the Groovy Ghoulies band. Dracula from the animated cartoon show Mad Monster Party, voiced by Alan Swift. An attendee to Dr. Frankenstein's annual monster party, he becomes involved in a plot to murder the doctor's nephew Felix and assistant Francesca for control of all the monsters in the world. Drac Jr. from the animated cartoon show Drac Pack, voiced by Jerry Dexter. In an effort to make amends for their ancestors, the new generation of Universal monsters decide to become superheroes and fight for good, helping humanity as the Drac Pack, with Drac Jr. as their leader. While out with mortals, they appear human, but can summon their monster powers and become the Drac Pack when needed. Callie the Little Vampire from the animated cartoon show Callie the Little Vampire. A lonely little vampire who lives in the darkness and the shadows attempts to find a different way of making friends in this unique and visually interesting animated film. Vinnie Stoker from the animated cartoon show Gravedale High, voiced by Roger Rose. A vampiric version of Fonzie from Happy Days who is one of Human Max Schneider's students at Gravedale High. The leader of the pack, he resembles a 1950s greaser in both attitude and style. Vampirina Huntley from the animated cartoon show Vampirina, voiced by Isabella Crovetti. A little vampire who moves from Transylvania to Pennsylvania when her parents open a scare B&B for traveling monsters. With help from her friends, she learns how humans live and their strange ways. Emma Wishbone from the animated cartoon show Monster Family, voiced by Emily Watson. An average housewife who accidentally calls Dracula instead of a costume shop and he is immediately smitten with her. With the help of the witch Baba Yaga, Emma and her entire family are accidentally transformed into classic Universal monsters. And finally, Little Dracula from the animated cartoon show Little Dracula, voiced by Eden Gross. Based on the book series, Little Dracula was the green-skinned son of Dracula who wanted to grow up to be like his father, but also enjoyed rock music, surfing, and hanging out with his little monster friends. This is all for now, and we hope you'd enjoyed watching this scary, fun, cartoony presentation.
See you next time.
Please support this channel and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this, and hit that notification bell for new videos. Take care and be safe.